I'm thrilled that you guys are all here. We're going to have some fun. I have lots and lots of curiosities. I like the way people think. I like making people think. I like puzzles. I have, as many of you know, a curiosity about how we make decisions, how do we come to beliefs, how do we change our minds. But tonight I want to explore a different aspect of the human mind, something that we call intuition. And everybody seems to know what intuition is, and nobody seems to know what intuition is. It's a curious collection of things. Does it have limits? Are some people better at it than others? Do we have, for example, is women's intuition a thing? You think it is? Let's see what the limits are. Using your intuition, can you tell me what I have written on this piece of paper? No. Yes. No. So we have no idea whether or not you're actually good at this or not. Would you, though, be willing to come up on stage and have your intuition tested alongside mine? Would you?
I'm shy.
You're shy? Is the person next to you shy?
No, she's not shy.
She's quite.
You're out. Would you come up here and help me?
Sure.
Hey, what'd you say? Did you say sure?
I said sure.
You're going to be perfect for this. Come on up, give her a round of applause as she comes up here. Woo. What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. I'm Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Michelle, come on over here. We'll have you stand over here by the microphone where people might be able to hear you. How many people have seen those things on the internet where you have a paragraph where the words have all the letters jumbled up, but you can still read them? I bet that irritates spelling teachers to find out that spelling really didn't matter, that as long as the first and last number's in the right place, we can do it. There's something else that's called the Stroop effect, which I put up here on this banner. Some of you might be familiar with it. If I were to ask you to read this list, you could do it pretty quickly, I would imagine. Just red, yellow, purple, green, orange. Curiously, though, if you ask somebody to say what color this is, not the font color, not what it says, that takes a little longer because you're using a different portion of your brain. There's ways to hide it, and when the word font color and what's actually written there are in agreement, of course, it's easy. This, you can go on, you can take a test, you can find out how quickly you can do it, how quickly somebody else can do it. We're not doing that tonight.
Thank you.
I would never actually put you to test for the Stroop effect, but what I am going to do is do an experiment with your intuition.
Okay.
I've got 4 bits of...
Your intuition.
Well, from down there, she's going to pass her intuition to you.
We're channeling each other.
Women's intuition is the best because I can't do anything like that. So we got 4 different colored pieces of cardboard paper here and some envelopes. And you can't see through the envelopes or anything. Okay. Just wanted to check that. I am going to put these inside of the envelopes. And then I'm going to mix them up so that you don't know what order they're in. Does that sound fun, or does it sound like I'm just killing dead air?
No, sounds good.
Now, we know that you can't see through them. Do you generally trust your intuition? Do you think you're pretty good at intuiting things?
I have to say my cognitive bias says yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What we're going to do, let me get my marker. Now, I've mixed these up so you don't know what the order is. What color do you think is in this first one?
Green.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay. I like to talk with the marker on.
It's great. It works.
It's good that you're not sure because you shouldn't be sure if it's intuition. What color do you think this next one is?
Red.
And the third one?
Blue.
Wow. You're sure you can't see through these,
Yeah.
through the entire stack? And that means the last one?
Yellow.
Okay. Now, stay, marker, stay. There's no way for you to see through these. You can't, your intuition is what we're trying to test here. Now, how good do you think you did? I mean, it could be the case that you got none of them correct. 50-50. That would be a good kind of intuitive guess as to how. The truth is, you're doing pretty good if you got one of them right. There's no guarantee you could get any. If you got 2 of them right, That's much better. If you get 3 of them right, and this is the part that confuses some people, it's perfect. Because if you got 3 of them right, obviously the 4th one's right as well. So you win on 3s and 4s. I tell you what, though, because this is a test of both your intuition and mine, since revealing the 4th one is going to be a bit anticlimactic, what we're going to do is we're going to set one of them aside. So I'd like you to just grab one, set that one aside. You can, sure, that's fine. Let's find out how you did.
All right.
This one, here, you hold those.
Nice printed.
I tried. This one you thought was yellow. Okay, you did pretty good. Actually, you got the yellow one exactly right. And I just like to show people, that's it. Hand me the next one. We'll see how you did here. Ooh, blue. Blue is right as well. I just like tearing things. I mean, I was a very destructive child. That's why I got kicked out of church, Randy. Red, that means 3 for 3, which also means that you have every single one of them. Now, I tore these open for a reason, not just to be destructive, because we were testing my intuition as well as yours. Clearly, that one contains the green one. But we set that one aside. Open up the envelope, take out the green card, and show everybody that you did, in fact, get all 4 of them correct. However, that envelope's not empty, is it? Why don't you open up, show everybody what's in that envelope, and step up to the mic and read it so we can see if my intuition was any good either.
It says, you will get all 4 correct. You will set aside this envelope, and it will contain the green paper.
Thank you very much. Well done, Michelle. So good. Thank you. I'm going to have you do one last thing. I'm going to get all this. I love messes. Look, order from chaos. It's that easy. What we're going to have you do is I'm going to have you throw out all 5 of these beach balls out to the audience. It's beach ball party time. I'll help and throw them out. Just chuck them. Don't get hurt because I don't have insurance, which is why I picked beach balls. And you're going to throw them around. Michelle, I want you to turn around and face the screen. And as soon as you want to, I want you to yell, stop. And when she does, grab a beach ball if it's close to you.
Stop.
Stop. If you have a beach ball and you're not averse, come on, we're all friends here. Come on up here on stage and help me out for the next part. Let's thank Michelle. Thank you so much. We'll get those 5 volunteers up to the stage. Now, intuition is a curious thing. I have a suspicion, I have an inkling, I think I know what's going to happen. Is it reading body language? Is it reading people's personalities? Oh, you could chuck the balls off to the side and then just take a stand here in front of each of the chairs. All right? How do we go about it? Is it about reading body language, or is it something else? Are we just taking our life's experience and trying to piece together what we think will likely happen? How good are we at it? Are we just remembering the times we got it right and forgetting the times we got it wrong? So, how are you all?
Great.
You can answer for everybody, that's fine. Do all of you drive?
Yes.
I'm sure there's been a point in time where you were driving a car and you've been completely unable to see the facial expressions or the body language of the person next to you, and yet you get an incredible intuition that this jackass is about to cut you off without signaling. Has that happened? We are so good. I don't have to signal when I'm walking through the shopping mall to say I'm going left, going right. We're really good at reading this stuff. And it's because we may, in fact, be a little too predictable. So I'd like you to first just wipe your minds clear and imagine that I've given each of you a piece of paper and a pen. And I've given you the instruction to draw some simple little picture, something that people would be able to recognize. Who drew a house? A tree? A car? A sun? Did you all draw offensive images that we would not be able to talk about here? What I want to be able to do is not have anyone think that, oh, she looks like a nice lady who might have drawn a kitty cat. I do get paid for this. But I don't want anybody to think I'm coming at it from the personality. The other thing is if I ask for somebody to think of a word, and in a minute I'm going to be plucking words and ideas out of your minds, don't worry, your super secrets are safe. If I were to ask them to think of a word, there's a chance that two people might think of the same word. There's a chance that somebody might not be able to think of a word. There's a chance that somebody might be able to think of a word that I don't know what the heck it is because I don't speak Canadian, as we found out earlier. So I've got a number of pads. Here you go. Let me grab one of these from behind right here. We ready up on the screen? So I've written a whole bunch of words in each of these. I don't want you to look through them and find one because you might pick one that's close to your personality. Each of these 5 memo pads has different words on it, so nobody ends up with the same thing. And here's how we're going to do this. I have one of my own that I used to use, and I stopped using for a very, very good reason because I made the mistake of writing the word sex in the book. Everybody picked it. So instead of going through and actually finding a word you like, I want everybody to pick up their pads, set them on their hands, and I'm going to turn my back, and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And on the count of 3, lift up, look at a word, lock it in your head, and then throw the pad back on the chair behind you. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Lift it up, get your word, lock it in your mind so that you don't forget it, set the pad back on the chair behind you, and somebody say whenever everybody's done. Done? Cool. So each of you have a word locked into your minds. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. I tell you what, we'll have the 4 of you can go ahead and sit down. And you, sir, what's your name?
Pat.
Pat. Have we met before?
We have.
Did we prearrange anything? Of course not. So you have a word locked in your brain. Just this one. This is the only one I'm worried about for right now. I want you to think about that word. I get the impression that this is not an abstract idea. This is just something it's concrete that you can imagine, that you can picture. It's something you're familiar with. You guys can see this, but I probably should turn maybe this way a little so you don't cheat. Just see, boy, I didn't go to art school. This is maybe a little terrible. Stay. I did that with my mind too. What word are you thinking of?
Chair.
All right. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it. You can actually head back to your seat now. You had your one word. You were successful. That's what we call success. All right. What's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon. How are you, Brandon?
How are you?
I've been better. Actually, it's probably a lie. I've probably never been better. You have a word. The thing is, I tried really hard to make sure that there weren't duplicates, but there's confusion. So let me skip over you for just one moment. What's your name?
Deborah.
Deborah, would you stand up, please? You have a word locked in your mind as well.
I do.
I get the impression that even with my extensive art school background, this one might be a little more difficult to draw. There's a sense of movement, of motion. I get the feeling you're probably better at art than I am. You probably think that you could draw this. I'm not so sure. I'm gonna write the word below because nobody's gonna know what the heck this drawing is. Tell everybody what your word was.
Dance.
Dance. Well, that's almost like dancing. Here we go. Thank you so much. Enjoy your cats. How many cats do you have? None? I have 4 cats. But I don't draw them. Actually, I paint them. I went to painting with a twist last week, and my wife posted pictures of me doing this. All right. And your name? Dawn. Dawn? Yes. Dawn. And Brandon and Dawn, both of you stand up real quick for a second, because I tried desperately to make sure that there weren't duplicates in there, but I get a very similar feel from both of you. So focus on your words I'm not actually going to use this time. These are words you guys were familiar with before we got here, right? I didn't throw in any random letters. It's so strange. Do you like your word?
Yeah.
Do you like your word?
Many people like my word.
Many people like your word. I don't want to get too many clues. This is so weird because they feel the same to me, and I work so hard. Sorry, I did not mean to completely screw up the show by, one of you, your word begins with an L, right?
Yeah.
You have bacon, and you have lunch.
Yep.
And I had bacon for lunch. That's why they felt the same. Thanks so much, Don and Brandon. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, either way. I saved the best for last.
I love your hair.
Yes, we have similar barbers. I saved the best for last. What's your name? Tell everybody your name, please.
I'll be Bob.
Sorry?
Bob.
Bob, you will be Bob until I tell you otherwise.
Okay.
Everybody, this is Bob. He's brothers with Neil and Bob. All right. Go ahead and stand up, Bob, because hair like this should be shown off for both of us, actually.
Does it matter if I'm hungover?
Seriously? I don't know, Randy, does it matter if somebody's hungover as to whether or not you can pretend to be? I don't know.
You're killing my eyes.
This is a little bit difficult for me. Everybody else, there was an instant connection, and for the person whose hair was most like mine, there's not quite the instant connection. I tell you what, hold off on that word that you've been thinking of. Keep it locked in your mind, because we need to kind of establish a better connection. So right over here, I've got 3 books. There's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Da Vinci Code, and Stephen King's The Shining. Pick anyone. Stay. I did that with my mind. This marker is awful. Pick any one of those books that you like. Go on over, grab it, make sure it's a legitimate copy of that book and not some funky little magic prop thing. You have The Shining. You got it?
Yep.
Have you read it?
No.
Okay. You can thumb through it as long as you don't get scared and go running off stage, because we still have work to do. I've seen the movie too, and there's a point in the movie that I kept turning it off for years. I never got to the end. It just terrified me. And then finally I watched it and I was like, well, what was I scared of? But I want you to open that book to any page you want. Stand over there where I can't see, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm reading over your shoulder from 20 feet away. Have your eyes glance up and down that page. As a matter of fact, go ahead and change pages. Switch to a completely different page right now. Just open it up anywhere else in the book. Or you can use the facing page. What I want you to do, because the word that you got out of the memo pad is a small word, I want you to just pick out any big honking $3 word there with a lot of letters.
Should have had my glasses.
Ah, that would have been good. Big honking $3 word, got it? Cool. I'm going to have you move over here for a second. I just need to pass the book and pass you, and I will stand here. I want you to imagine that word spelled out in front of you. And focus on the very first letter. Okay, what was it? The first letter?
Or the word.
The first letter of the word?
The letter T.
T. Now focus on the second letter. And what was that one? This is the second letter? H. I think we're starting to connect a little bit here. It seems like, I think I'm getting something way out at this end. But right after the TH, it seems, and don't confirm this, I'm getting the impression that there's a whole word there, or the letters there would spell a word of their own. Hang on a second, because we're getting close, but I notice my watch keeps getting stuck on my cufflink. The word from your memo pad a minute ago, was it watch?
It was.
It was watch. Whew! All right. Now I think we're getting somewhere. And now you're thinking of a great big long word, which is probably going to be difficult to see without the cameraman zooming in on it, he said in anticipation. For the first time, tell everybody the word that you simply thought of out of that book.
Thumped.
Thumped?
Thumped.
Well, at least I got watch. Thumped is a good word. I was going the right direction because I had thunderstruck, but thumped is a good word. Thanks for helping me out. Thumped. On occasion, I've been thumped. Watch, though, that was, surprising about watch. I only have one last thing that I want to do it's about intuition, and I'll try to make sure we wrap this up and you get on to some amazing magicians, one of whom I met today for the first time. I'm really looking forward to you meeting him in a moment. I need one more volunteer. Wow, hands up all over the place. But I don't want to pick them. I want Thumped to pick them. Where'd you run off to?
Right here.
Raise your hand if you'd like to volunteer for the last one, and Thumped will select you.
Right there.
Right there. Come on up. Give him a round of applause. Well, you have to clap till he gets all the way up here. That's just the way it works. The rules of magical theater. How you doing? What's your name?
Hey, I'm Vikram.
Bikram?
Yep.
Welcome. Come on over here by the microphone so people can hear you. You are going to be the eyes and ears of the audience here. When I was a kid, I collected autographs. I was fascinated with celebrity. I had a baseball, and I wrote celebrities' names on there myself and would tell my friends, oh, look what I got autographed. Only I didn't necessarily know the names, so it'd be like the twins from Cork, a terrible TV show with these blonde twins, and that's what I wrote, the twins from Cork. As I got a little older, I was more and more involved in magic. And I had a lot of conjurers and pretend magicians who I greatly admired. And I thought the best thing I could think of, let me get a deck of cards and have them all sign it. And then one day, somebody asked for my autograph. And I was like, this is strange. It's this idea that if I have someone sign something, I've somehow captured some of their essence, or it belongs to me. And then I got more and more frustrated because we not only look up at celebrities because of what they do, but we're now getting medical advice from actors. And so I am very down on the notion of celebrity. I have a number of friends who are incredibly famous, and if they want me to kiss their butt, they are going to kiss mine first. We're all just people, and that's the kind of thing I like. But there are still people that I greatly admire for the work that they've done. The amazing Randy here this evening, one of my great honors, incredible person, who does not appear on my list of celebrities for this particular thing. You are going to use your eyes. I have here a bunch of celebrity names and cards. If you want to read some of them off, that'd be great.
Taylor Swift.
Yes, I like Taylor Swift.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Beyonce, Johnny Depp, Lady Gaga, Neil Patrick Harris.
Who's also a magician?
Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
Bob Marley, Amy Winehouse, Demi Lovato, Tom
Sure,
Hanks.
we got a bunch of them. And you're familiar with some of these as well. I don't want you to think of a celebrity. All I want you to do, are you familiar with a deck of playing cards? Like you know them all by name? Not this name, but like that name?
Yeah, I do.
So I would like for you, in just a moment, to name a card out loud. Any card, right into the microphone, free selection. Go.
Three of Hearts.
The three of hearts. Now you're going to be here as the eyes of the audience. We're going to look through here. Oh, that was four hearts. That's close. Four diamonds. There's the three of hearts. Do you want to change your mind, or are you going to stick with that?
I'll stick with that.
Take the three of hearts. Look at it. Tell everybody what celebrity is on that card.
Did I just say it here?
Yeah, say it right in there.
Johnny Cash.
Oh, I love Johnny Cash. All right. Now, there's no way that I could have known that you were going to pick the three of hearts. That came right out of your mind.
Yep.
So would it be amazing if that envelope over there with the question mark on it had a picture of Johnny Cash?
It would be.
I think that these people would lose their minds if there was Johnny Cash in the envelope.
I just never heard of Johnny Cash before.
Oh my goodness! Oh my! I'm getting you an iTunes gift card later, and you can add some Johnny Cash. But it would be amazing, and these people, so I can tell you, trust me, there's a picture of Johnny Cash in that envelope. Thank you all very much. See, if I would have got thumped right, then they would have believed me. But I'm not kidding. Over here in this envelope, this is amazing. Sitting here the whole time, your free selection, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Cash. I knew that there would be some people here who might be a bit skeptical, so I drew his guitar as well. Thank you. This is definitely not Taylor Swift's guitar. This is Johnny Cash's guitar. And to confirm that, I actually drew this picture that looks strikingly like Johnny Cash, and I put all of it on the back of a Johnny Cash poster. Thank you so much for helping out. Appreciate it. Go on down. Thank you guys so much.